Hello again, everyone. It is your Black Knight, and we just got done looking at Exceptionalist Way and at the nightclub garages. Let's go to Weasel Plaza. We are going to warp our way over to the Plaza of Weasels. For starters, take a look at the wheels here. This is the last property I bought. I believe I traded my 6-car garage up in Paleto Bay for this one. And it's an interesting mix of things here because we've got, what the heck did they even call that? The free crawler. This was, again, one of the off-roaders I used to keep up there for driving up Mount Chiliad. It's a nice funky little forgotten car for the most part. You ever see anybody not know, Lester? Talk about the free crawler? No. And it's Vagrant. Now, this is a car that you almost have to have because, you know, it is so good, except when it's not good when it's spinning out. So I have it, hardly ever use it, which could be a theme. I'm not sure. Let's see if that's the theme. This is an important car. Now, this little Prius here, this Dilettante, was the Dilettante that I drove up Mount Chiliad for the Happy Birthday EU video. If you recall, there was a whole thing about the European Union causing tighter copyright restrictions on everybody. And of course, the running joke is that you can't sing Happy Birthday because that's copyrighted. So I did a thing where I painted this up in European Union colors and drove it up Chiliad while singing Happy Birthday EU. Happy Birthday EU. Happy Birthday EU. Happy birthday, European Union. Happy birthday, EU. At least it was something along those lines. So this Dilettante, it's got a remarkable history here. Important car. And we have a more decked out kind of version of the Top Gear North Pole vehicle.
James, meanwhile, was on guard duty.
James, are you showing off or are you actually looking for bears over there? Because I can't run.
Or also the vehicle that was driven to the volcano in a different episode by James May.
Or over there, and you can see it's still red hot. It's the best part of 1,000 degrees C in there, and it's something like minus 18 today, but standing here, I'm toasty warm.
Everon. The Everon's a pleasant truck to drive, in my opinion. And you might notice there's kind of a Chiliad theme here. This is my original Sand King XL. This is the one I used to spawn countless Sand King XLs over at that car lot there in it was a grapeseed, I forget how you call it, but yeah, I just kept, I really did, I've got other ones, but I just kept this one. Is that rubbing up against the bike holder there? Are they hitting each other? Yep, that's through the trunk. That bike handle is through a trunk completely. It's all right. Well, that's nice. But it was such a useful vehicle, I couldn't let it go, so it's still here. I still take it out every once in a while. This is my original BF injection on the character. You gotta love the texture on this. That it's weathered even if you shine it up. There's no clean version of it. This is it. Unique wheels. There's a lot unique to this car. Ripped seats. Busted out dash. You can see the whole thing is right through the window. This was prior, I think, to the light smoke era. I don't know, is there light smoke there? I don't know. Neo. There's a possibility I will trade this one in once I unlock the other Neo that I just got from the heist. But on the other hand, this was useful. This was an Easter car. So there's a possibility I'll just try to keep them both. But for right now, the only way I can keep the other one. You'll see the other one eventually in the tour. So I keep it unusable in the salvage yard. So there it is, my Easter Neo, which you will see this racing again. Now, my Previon here was just a plain Jane green. I think I had it was just plain green, kind of a snake look to the whole thing. And then I just went through the whole effort of buying another Previon with this livery on it because it's a rare livery you can only get this week. And so I just moved it over to this car, then sold the other car back. Lost a lot of money in the deal. It was an expensive livery. And since it's an expensive livery, and I do tend to use the Ragarum liveries, I just kept it over the original paint job that I like so much. And then the rest of the car is what the rest of the car is. It just is what it was originally. It's a very snaky looking car to me. We tried to enhance that. I like it. Whether I'll keep that on there all the time, I don't know. It's a freebie. It's a very expensive freebie, so we can swap that back and forth. But moving right along. I forget why I decided just to have this. This is just a regular Comet. And the trick about it is I grabbed it, made it the way I wanted to. It's not exactly like Dr. Friedlander's Comet. His is a pure red. This is more of an orange. Yeah. Sunset orange, I think. I forget why I wanted. There was a reason behind this, but I forget the reason. But now it's completely unpurchasable. And it's literally sitting like there. It is an attractive car. I mean, the Comet's a classic. The Comet in GTA is a classic, not just in GTA Online. And then, of course, we have the Tahoma Coupe. Done out in pinstripes and gold. White interior. It's just a lovely car. I think we can agree. Just there's loveliness here. I like it. Yeah, there's a little less cohesiveness in some of these garages as far as making sense. But if they make me happy, they don't need to make sense. And now, moving right along.
You take it, you know best. Hey, I've never seen the sun come up in the west.
Supply Street. Now there's some important cars in here. Like we've got our Golf here, which you'll see I did in kind of a matte orange to represent the matte-ish orange wrap that Jeremy Clarkson gave his compact. I think it was a Golf.
I've gone again. In the plums.
You know, well, this is a club, of course, if you in GTA terms. But you know where his keys were there. I don't have the mark from the keys being trapped on the wrap. But yeah, that is the top of the line compact car. So that's a pure racer. Patriotic Sabre here. I think I grabbed this on some kind of sale. And I use it for the 4th of July for the most part. I forget actually they even have this one. There's a couple others that I use, but I love my Sabres. You gotta love your Sabres. Looks cool. Fully upgraded and ready to roll for for Independence Day. I'm tired. Adder. You gotta have an Adder. I did it in kind of a Frenchish kind of blue. Beautiful car. There's supposed to be a joke that I'm supposed to say here about being the fastest car in the game, but we're going to let that slide. It just is what it is, and I like it. It's very, very, very good. Now, this is more of a story. One of these, at least one of these was won on the wheel. The other, I think, was a really like one of the get it for free things. There somehow I ended up with two Tyrants. I have a gold one. I think I won the white one on the wheel, and I might have purchased the gold one, but I wasn't gonna get rid of my gold Tyrant because the white Tyrant wasn't as cool, but they're both cool, and I wasn't gonna get rid of a Tyrant for nothing, so I have two Tyrants, and that's how that's gonna stay. This one is a little bit more regal. I believe my Tyrant on the other character is purple, so I got all the regal kind of things going along here. It's a big, big, beefy car. Very good if you're dealing with people trying to ram you off the road, in my experience. But speaking of that, drippy car ETR1. I was kind of late getting to the ETR1. I eventually got it. And yeah, I know the wheels don't exactly match that. I have to come up with something a little better. But maybe white would look better. But here's where we're at right now. There's something I've always liked about this car. I mean, it does have a tremendous amount of just mechanical grip. Some downforce. It's not the fastest of the 3 cars that came out at that time. That's still the RE7B, but it's a good looking, good driving car. You can't complain about it. Will it win the race? Probably not. Will it lose the race badly? Probably not. Still a keeper. Now, I remember these Retinues and Retinue Mark IIs and Sylvesters and stuff like that. I think I got all of these on some kind of ridiculous sale because I had multiple of them. I think I've gotten rid of some of them. But, you know, if you're doing sports classic racing, either one of them is fun. I mean, you can be competitive. It's just a matter of, you know, are you dealing with really, you know, the really top end cars? And if you're dealing with a top end car with a top end driver, then they'll win. But if you're going up, or you've got a little bit of an edge of skill, and you know, or someone has a little bit less luck, I think the Mark II is just straight up competitive. I'd have to look at Bruffy's lists again. Chappelle, is that like Dave? I don't think it's like Dave. So Mark 1, Mark 2. Then you get over here. And these are your 2 best here, in theory. The DR1's got the highest top speed. More of an Indy car. The BR8 is supposed to be V1. The S1, top of S1 tier. I don't like driving it. It's just too long. It doesn't seem to fit on any of the tracks. And so I usually don't drive either of these. They're both very, very long cars. And on a tight course, that becomes a problem. I tend to hook things. So might be a skill level issue on my part. Again, they look great in a garage. But I am more likely to use the other 2 cars, which we'll get to. We're moving right along. Now we're back down near to the, pretty close to the nightclub, but this one's a little bit annoying because when you're calling in cars, they won't come up anywhere near this place. But let's talk about cars. First of all, this plain Jane Vigero. This was an interesting thing because on my other character, I think I picked up a Vigero off the street, this color. And it had saved me from some bad situation. So I kept it for a while until I built the green Vigero. And then I had 2 Vigeros. And what I did was I ended up finding one on this character, building it exactly the same as the other character, then selling it on the other character. So it was the same pixel-wise, except for the plate, as if I had transferred it over. So it's like I still had the car. Never get between a man and his head cannon. That's what this is. So it's a car that got me. I don't even remember what it was. I don't remember the story. The car is supposed to be a memento of the story. Don't remember what the story was, but I'm keeping that one. The Vigero's a nice car anyway. Slam Van Custom. I was trying to remember what the exact name for this Slam Van was. This was built back when I was taking the Rusty Jack thing pretty literally. Pretty literally. It's not a bad look for the heavy patina kind of car sort of thing. It's not a bad car to drive, really. A good improvement over the regular Slam Van. I think the brakes are bad, but not as bad as the other one. I haven't driven this in a long time either. But it is here, and I am happy it is here. The Lurcher. What can you say about the Lurcher? Happy Halloween. Dead guy is still in there trying to get out. I took, in this case, I decided to take the liveries off of it altogether and just make it look like it was a real hearse. With some nice color to it. Great car to drive. I like it. Now this one. Oh, the wrong named Addams Family thing here. The Frankenstein. I say wrong name because it was this was what was referred to in in Dragula, but Dragula is not this car. This is a do-up on the Addams Family coach. The coach is the car, but this is well, the Frankensteiner is its own thing, and it has arguably the best exhaust note in existence. I love the color scheme I went with here. It's like kind of Halloween, but not. Can we get that little engine note? If I rev it, then we're gonna leave. But you get a taste. Just a taste. Which one was this one? Okay, the Chino Custom. This Chino Custom was done up like the car on the Riding with the King album with Eric Clapton and B.B. King. Don't you know you're riding with the king? Oh yeah, it's a good album. Beautiful black, simplistic, heavy custom kind of car here. It's not supposed to have a sense of humor, this car. It's just supposed to be coolness. Like you put everything you had into it, and it's serious and no funky anything. It's just nice. Sometimes there's a place for those cars. Now this is straight up Hot Wheels. As a matter of fact, I should put, if it had a plate, I would put the Hot Wheels plate on it. I had this Hot Wheels. Actually, it was a Speedster. It had no roof. But basically, that I had it in black and had it in white with the flames. If I wanted to do it true Hot Wheels, I'd put the different wheels on it. But I like the way this looks, and this is what I'm going with. The Hustler. It's a Hustler, right? Yeah, Hustler. Zentorno. Again, this was... I don't know when I got the Zentorno, or if this is the original look, or did I just get into... I think it's the original paint job. Because I think that's the secondary. Or did I just pick the paint to go to secondary? But anyway, it was in my diamond blue phase. Sky bluish kind of stuff, or however you want to call it. You have to have a Zentorno. The Zentorno is one of those cars you have to have, otherwise you're not a GTA player. It's just I don't make up the rules. The Zentorno is too much of a classic. It's still somewhat competitive today. You can still every once in a while see a Zentorno out there. I should take this out somewhere along the line. Just and of course you got this is the one you get for free for doing all the stuff for what's his name? What the heck is his name? English Dave. There you go. This is the English Dave one. You don't get it like this. I decided I'd keep the English Dave paint job and then slam the heck out of it and turn it into a raceable car. Although sometimes this doesn't even come up in the menu. It's really weird. Love Bug. We should probably put a Love Bug plate on that now that we have more plates available. That's a thought for the future. I'd have to drive it around a lot first, so that would take some time. The much forgotten Paragon R. Now there's a new Paragon out, which I don't remember which one's faster, but this is a nice car to drive. It really is. Like as I get older, I often think that rather than, if I had to actually spend a ton of money and drive a high-performance supercar kind of thing, would I go for the Lamborghini? Or would I go for something like this, like a Bentley Speed or something like that, which probably is easier getting in and out of. Very nice. I like these. Lamborghini is more of a dream car. Of course, then, speaking of Lamborghini, yeah, you might call it the Monroe. I'd call it the Miria. A GTA adaptation of one of the most beautiful cars that ever existed. Beautiful, beautiful car. I think it's I can't remember if this was a muted blue with an ultra blue pearlescent over it, or a ultra blue over gray, something. Really nice look. I love that car. Driving it, not so much. I have tried to take this in some races. I've taken other Monroes in races. The Monroe races over on the Bruffy Stream never ended well for me. But it's here. It's staying here. Preferences. Moving right along. Unit 2 Poplar. Some classiness going on here. The Stafford. I like to think, you know, there's so many Enos cars. The Stafford is one of those that, you know, you don't get it all for performance, but I mean, look at it. I mean, just look at it. I'd totally get one of these if I could and just cruise around in it. It's beautiful. Nothing like a Rolls. The F620. This was built for, if I was ever in this account back in the day, I don't know if it ever got into a Bruffy stream or not. He doesn't do PC anymore. You have to go on 5M to do any kind of PC kind of stuff with Bruffy. But back when they would have the car shows, I'd always plan on bringing this out. I was going to put dollar rims on it just to make it maximally annoying, but I ended up liking this look enough. But it is Bruffy Crew over chrome to get that unique look. If you put chrome on a car, you can then go down to crew and hit crew, and it'll stack the two of them. It has the hateful plate. Not something I don't think I ever really got to use this to show it off, but it's gonna stay here. I've done some stuff with this. I can't remember all the things, but you know, there's a pretty good backlog of videos here you can watch. I'm sure it'll show up somewhere. Just watch them all. That'll be a good plan. The Sultan. It's a nice Sultan RS or Sultan this or Classic this. Just a plain Jane purple, pink over a purple Sultan. I can't remember the story on the look. It's got kind of a U of S paint job with the purple and white. Just straight up purple there until you move. That pearlescent worked out pretty good, I think. The Sultan, it's kind of like that good car and back in the old days. Probably not really all that good now, but it's good enough. You know, it's a reliable car until the head gaskets go. That's all I'm going to say on that. At least you don't have to worry about that in game. Diablo is just one of those cars that looks good in purple. I probably should have given it more pearlescent. There's a bright purple pearlescent over the, I think, shafter on this one. Stock wheels fully loaded up. It hardly goes anywhere. I don't even race this one, but I love it. It's a Lamborghini Diablo. I mean, come on. Fastest top speed in the game without boost. The Super Bug. What do they actually call it? The Weevil Custom. They call it the Super Bug. And I have done this up as if it was Herbie Mad Max. Chain over the hood. Burger Fazug. Burger Fuckers? Burger Fazug. Okay. I really need to use that more because it does have such a high top speed. It just doesn't turn for anything. So that would just be an experiment. What do we got here? A Weasel News van that I could probably get rid of, but it is kind of unique to have a Weasel News van. Is that even... it's insured. It's a Rumpo. Weasel News. This the Classic Ranger I have because I grabbed it from the NPCs. I forget even what mission it was. It was one of... Oh, heck. What mission was that? It was down by the docks. You were doing it for... Who the heck were we even doing it for? Let me jog my memory. Someone I've deleted. Simeon! It's one of the Simeon missions. Simeon, you're so forgettable, yet so unforgettable. Grabbed it to make a point because you could, and now I've got it. That's not a 3600, it's just a classic. As I got it, with the nose, with the bumper guard. This was a wheel win. I won this sucker off of the prize wheels, I recall, or something along the line. Kept it as it was, upgraded it fully. Night Shark's a useful vehicle. The Weenie Issy Classic. And disappointingly, they've taken away the Issy Classic races again. I don't know if they're coming back. But you have to have one for those, and I like this build on this. I love the color on it. Again, it's one of those, it's not silly. It's just good. Like it. And it's an interesting thing. I don't know how many of these I have. I have at least 2. One on this character, one on the other. And I might have some others in other garages, so we'll have to keep an eye out. The Prairie. This one, I think I tried to build the way that that Bruffy had tested his. It's got what I was trying for with the Bruffy Orange. At least I think this is the bright version of Bruffy Orange. With instead of sunrise over sunset, it was, I believe, yellow over, or race yellow over sunset.
Personally, have a read of the full description, as everything that you need is in there. So one of the shortest videos that we'll ever do in this series, because there are only 7 vehicles in the compact class. That actually makes it the second smallest class in the game, second only to the military vehicles class, and it certainly, you could say that it hasn't had a lot of love over the years, but it was a very, very small class.
Orange, I'm not sure. Carbon, it's maxed out. All the sliders are moved to the bottom except the limo. Did we put limo on that? Or is that light smoke? I don't even know. Gotta have a Prairie. You just do. It's another one of those cars that you just do. Ooh, Del Perro. This is the Faggio Deluxe. No, it's really just a Faggio. But I did this up in gold paint. And I basically tricked out as much as I could. I forget what the purpose of the video was, but I described this as the latest from Rockstar. It was a $20 million Faggio. There was a joke involved. I will keep it forever. The Faggio Deluxe. Most expensive vehicle in the game, in my head. The Futo. I got this Futo while I was waiting for the Cheburek to come out. And it's a very similar kind of... It's quicker, of course, than the Cheburek, but it's got that slidiness to it. It's just a fun car. And I did it. I was in a brown kind of tan mood for when I did the Cheburek, which you'll see later. And there's some story to that coming up, so don't worry about that. But I love this car. I love Futos in general. They're just nice. They're not good to drive. They're fun to drive. It's basically that. And you're saying, oh, gee, another EC Classic. Why? I think I won that last. Now I think about it, I think one of these I won. This one was built up like a Matchbox car. I think it has the Matchbox plate. No, it doesn't, but it's going to get one. This is based on a Matchbox. Nothing really cool about that plate, right? 60 my 390. It'll get the Matchbox plate at some point. Oh, you know, maybe I kept it because of the front plate. That was why you had the European plate. This is the one that I usually take out for Izzy races. I think the other one I won on the wheel, so it doesn't have any value to it, but it's still nice. Just tweaked up a little bit. I like this one. This was based on a car I played with growing up. I had a Matchbox. Just a purple Mini like that. That's cool. I have too many of these Duke of Deaths. But again, the paint on it is just so cool. And can you really have too many Duke of Deaths? Yeah, I guess you can, but we're keeping this one for the time being. I like it. Paradise. You gotta like the Paradise. Very nice truck. I've used this in some end bump videos. It's just got a nice style to it. I think I had this parked in my garage when I was just basing myself out of the garage. So it was like Rusty Jack was living out of the Paradise here while I was stealing trucks trying to save money. Stealing Sand King XLs, spawning them in. This, of course, is supposed to be the... this is our version. This is the clean version of the Beetle van from A Land Down Under by Men at Work. The rustier one's probably more accurate, but it's the right color and it's good. This is just a funky custom version of it that when the custom came out, you had to have it. Fully upgraded kind of stuff. I don't think it performs any better, but look at the customization. Love that livery. It just makes sense to me. I like it. It's chaotic. And of course you gotta have a ZX. It's a good car. I like it. It's weird. It had the B plate. It's good stuff. I like it. It's quick enough. Yeah, it's competitive. Obviously I don't have HSW, otherwise this thing becomes way more important, but very nice. Panther. This came out, this is my alternate build to the Pink Panther. This is the non-Pink Panther, or Panther. Gave it the stripes though. I like that car. I forget the theme I was going with the red and the blue. That borders on my old neon Tetra colors, but not exactly. It is what it is. I like the car. And finally, a white Panther. You know, thinking of a Panther, then you have a Pantera, the Viserys. Again, this is one that I think I was going to come up with a plan for, do something really wild with it, and it ended up just looking good white, and I let it go. And moving right along. And here we are, Murrieta Heights. Yes, I know. I know. I know. It's not rally at all. It's not very good. I got this when you could barely get it. Now you can get it anytime you want, but it's not any good. I built it like a crazy taxi. And here it is. I actually don't even know if you can still get it. Yes, here, Rally. But it's here. Yes, I did beat that mission on both characters. It's not, it's not a bad car to drive. I don't think it's the new meta. The Virtue. That's not the new meta by any stretch. But it is good. Cannot complain. SNL Classic. SNL Classic. Again, I have some duplicates here. But it's like, which one do I give up? The wrong liveried one? Or the, what the hell is this even called? The Go-Go Pussycat Robot Anime one, whatever it is. Does this have the pillow in the back? No, it doesn't have the pillow. I forget which one that was. They're both, the SNL Classic's a good running car. Is that like, that hood popped like that? Is that how it's supposed, I guess that's how it's supposed to be. I don't think I bumped it or something. So for the time being, until I get really desperate, I got them both. The time may come when I pick one and sell the other. They're both two very different builds. Don't really race either of them, but hey, they look good in here. And yeah, I got one of those. That's just the Vito Classic. Vito Classic. And the other one's the Vito Modern. Okay. I got a Vito Classic in case they ever came out with, races for these, which they really haven't, but, I guess you could make some. The Bride. Now, I built this Autark right around the time that Bruffy1322 married the love of his life, Xerxes. And it just happened again in white. That looked good in white. Like, you know what? We could do this all white. Call it The Bride. There's a video on that. Racing with the Bride. Hats off to those guys. They're married a few years now. They're making it work. It's all good. You get through those first couple years. That's a good thing. So God bless you guys. This car isn't great, but the paint job is awesome. You got a hot rod paint job here. I mean, like, the guy who got Optimus Prime killed.
If you're gonna ride, Dano, ride in style.
I kid. We all know that it was Hasbro that killed Optimus Prime. But, for the paint job, it's got some things to it. I don't mind driving every once in a while. It's a Transformer. Gotta have a T20 simply because, again, it's one of those standard bearer cars. There are tracks that require you to use a T20 on them because that's how they've timed everything. It's just, a special card. Again, I did this one up around the same time I was into that Mid-Valley paint job thing. So, blue and white. I was really questioning myself whether I should get this. This is the custom, right? The Italia GTB custom. Because I hadn't had a lot of luck with stock ones of either stripe, either the regular or the custom. Bruffy went on and on and on about how much this is one of his favorite cars. Actually, it's the other one, not the custom. But I ended up putting a regular one on my first character, custom on this one. Every once in a while I take it out. It's interesting. And, of course, if you don't have a Feltzer. Back in the day, the line from Bruffy 1322 was, if you don't have a Feltzer, what are you doing with your life? And it is a good car. And now it's a removed car. With 42 in the license plate. I mean, that's just... orange pearlescent over blue. With orange wheels. Not quite the exact, match the outfit look. But not too far off either. Moving right along. We hit the button, we do the thing. South Shamble Street. I'll be honest, I'm getting surprised at what's in these places, We got a gold Bestia. The Bestia is kind of a nice driving car. It has some hidden strengths, and it does better than you think it would. My FMJ, which I redid into like a Murica kind of thing here. Murica. There's not enough character in the paint job. There's no liveries. There's only primary here. It was odd that they did the car this way so simply, but it is what it is. Maybe there's a purpose. Maybe that's how they all are. I don't know. But so really, kind of a odd pick for it. Looks from behind. There's a bit more Murica to it. Well, you can't see the blue, but I mean there is from like this point. It looks kind of Murica. So that was for my Independence Day special. You gotta have a Tropos Rally. I was into Ultra Blue as a pearlescent at the time. I can't remember if that's purple or blue under there. I think it's blue on blue. Tropos is a nice little car. It really is. As far as the rally class, it is technically better than an Omnis around the track, around Bruffy's track, per Bruffy's timing. He just calls it boring because it's just too capable, I guess. So that's his complaint. But it's a very stable, nice car. I like it. The Schwinger, I think I won this one. I had to move it out here because I didn't have enough room in the casino to win more, and then I won more, and blah, blah, blah. So it is the color it came as, and it's fully upgraded. Still a twitchy car to drive. But it's a classic kind of thing. We got it. We're keeping it. I had to go funky with my Sultan RS because really, what purpose does the Sultan RS have except to be funky? Because it's in the wrong class. I mean, if it was in the sports class and it was really duking it out at the front, yeah, it wouldn't even be duking it out at the front of the sports class nowadays. All that's kind of blurred. I guess it really would. It's just its only purpose is ever going to be funky, no matter what class you put it in, and this one is funky. Silvestre? Let me check. Silvestre. Silvestre is one of those fun spice choice or bold choice, sports classics picks when you're not too worried about winning, but you think you might wanna. That's kind of what this is. And those are turbos, not horns. So there you have that. I like the build on this. The color is nice. Very orange juice and toothpaste. You gotta like that. And how can you not have a habanero? Or habanero. This one is in fact done up like a habanero, kind of. That was the colors I was going for. It is a goofy thing. Again, it's one of those cars that is key to the lore. It's a lore-based car. There's a lot that's gone on in the GTA community with the Habanero, so it is here. If you know, you know. Now this is the souped up one, the Banshee 900R, not a regular Banshee. I've done this up like a classic Shelby coupe. Banshee again, heavy in the lore, but a nice car to drive, nice sound to it. You take it racing every once in a while if there's a lot of straights. It has a very high top speed. Not the highest, but it's good. It's good. Not great, but good. It's nice. I like it. And it looks fantastic. Gotta love it. Well, you could call it a Tornado, but I mean, it's a 57 Chevy, let's be honest. And how could you not like a 57 Chevy? Well, let me point a couple things out to you. When you go custom on this, it makes the tires really small. So that's why I put the exhaust coming through here so you don't notice a huge gap. This would be nicer if you could get a little bit bigger wheels on it. That'd be perfect. But you can do that with just a regular Tornado. The regular Tornado has bigger wheels. But not as quick. Not that this is blazing. But you can do a lot more with it. It's a drop top. The top comes down. It's a real funny story. For the longest time, I did not know that. And I always just thought I was just stuck with hard tops, so I couldn't get a convertible. And I think there's videos of me being excessively ignorant of how this actually worked, but that I have up. So you'll learn. Over time, you'll learn. You know, we all get to learn. Now this Elegy Retro Custom, this was the first time I ever did that. I thought, let's do this as a complete black and white car. Like a monochromatic racing car. It almost doesn't look right. It looks like it's like the video card struggling or something. But no, it really is just that gray and black and great handling car. Not the fastest. Probably not competitive anymore. It's less competitive than it once was. Moving on up to the preferences. Tinsel Towers 45. This one's kind of an important one. This building has one of my favorite apartments. I don't think I have it on this character. I think it's the other character has the custom apartment. Love the layout of that. But right here you'll see this is really where the whole matching out cars to match my outfit. I can't get the camera to back up enough. Really does shine. You could say that these are my, completely self-styled cars, my hero cars, the ones I would be theoretically driving by default. Let's go through them. And there we go. Power Surge, that bike has surprised me with how fast it goes. Handling is okay, it's good enough, not bad, but not as great as like a Shotaro. But you wheelie that sucker, it goes to space. And it can glide. It really, you should call it, the Power Surge should be called the Power Glide. They should all be painted red. But this one is definitely decked out in my Orange Patriot kind of thing. Speaking of Orange Patriot kind of thing, this Gauntlet Classic is done up like the Hot Wheels car I have. Don't know where it is exactly, but the Hot Wheels car I have, which is the Dixie Challenger. This should get the Hot Wheels plate now that I've procured it for the other car. I think it's got a seal. It's got a God Bless the USA, but this one should get a Hot Wheels because that is a Hot Wheels based car. Tried to make it as close as I could to the Matchbox, except the Matchbox. The Hot Wheels, except Hot Wheels didn't have the big wing, but you gotta love the big wing. I'm tempted to put the nose on it because you can put the arrow nose on this one just to. And I might, even though that's not what the car was like originally. Maybe we'll make it a full arrow at some point. I don't know. I'll let you know if I do that. And I might change up the wheels. I like the wheels. Those I think are the stock ones, but we might put some Hot Wheels on this just because. Just to. This is the Custom Patriot. What do they name the Patriot Mil-Spec? Mil-Spec Patriot. Not a bad vehicle, really. I think this has a mine layer on it. We chromed out the secondaries just because. Red, white, blue, and orange. It's got the armored windows. This is semi-bulletproof. It's a very, very useful vehicle. I like it. Oh, and it's got, look, machine guns. This is fully Amani teched out. What they even call it? This was the Hellion, the Ennis Hellion. No, it doesn't have the power that that engine kind of advertises. But you gotta have one big block sticking out of the hood kind of car. I think putting the panels on it made it bulletproof from behind, but I'm not real sure. The Hellion's a fun one. It's a fun off-roader. You gotta like it. I think the belt does spin properly, so it's all good. Now this one, this is kind of an interesting car in that if you peek in the back, oh, you can't really. This is the van that I'll often take if I'm going to be idling a lot in Ellis Customs, because the idea is that you could really live in there because it's basically got a bed set up and, you know, couches to visit on. You can have a party in the back of this thing. It's not very fast. It is called a 4x4. It's two-wheel drive. That's just messed up. But it's probably got the closest to completely matching the look. He completes the look. Complete the look. Are we even further back now? Okay. Ranger 3600 XL. Or not XL, LX. Should be XL. It's extra large. Okay, but it's a big one. This is another Amani Tech car with the GBT USA, God bless the USA on it. For some reason it wouldn't let me have America. Don't know why it wouldn't let me have America, but it didn't let me have America, so I get GBT USA. We got our Jock Cranley truck, which if you watch any of the racing videos where I'm doing those races, you'll see this come up a lot. Again, it matches. Looks good. Races well. What the heck was this one? This is the Vapid Riata. One of the most forgettable Vapid Riata, one of the forgettable 4x4s. Was this supposed to be a Bronco of some nature? I don't know. Vapid's a Ford, the Riata. I like driving it. I think it's good, really good off-road. It bounces around pretty good, and it's a fun car. And I did it up with a lot of chrome and mercenary wheels and a light that I think works. Can't even see what's on the... I can't jump here. I have to jump up on the car to see the hood. La Carousse. Now, La Carousse, you'll notice, it's got the same colors, but not quite the Patriot feel because those stripes are French. It has La in its name. That would make perfect sense. La Carousse. Great car. One of the top of the lines here as far as sports cars are concerned. Best handler. It has dethroned the Issy Classic for basically for all your really tight courses and for rally courses. I think it has a very good off-road traction loss. It has a tremendous amount of acceleration because it's electric. I think mine is the one with the broken lights in the front. I didn't go through. There was a time you can get another one. Spend another $5 million or something like that and get one where the front glowing light bar works properly. I think mine's the original. But I said, heck with it. I'm not going through all that. We just kept it original. The collector in me just wasn't strong enough to pull that off. Again, I think I was probably low on spaces by that point. The Monstrosity. Monstrosity is, again, a really nice vehicle to drive. Very competitive. Both of these, if you get HSW, dominate their class. The both of them. I'm on PC. I don't get HSW. That's it said Harley Davidson from their rally division. So this is key to my character. These cars you're going to see regularly. But it's time to move on. Up the road to Eclipse Towers now. Ta-da! A little different flavor now. Now you got a little bit more of a classics kind of flavor. This should have a Matchbox tag on it too. I had a Mercedes like that. What is it actually called? The Benefactor Glendale. And again, I built that again just because I had the Matchbox as a kid. I still have it somewhere, or one similar to it. I think the one I have is a two-door. But still, we're talking GTA here, close as you can get, you know. Also, a benefactor, we got the 300 SL. What do they really call it? The Sterling GT. Still think of it as a 300 SL. Great noise, great handling. Get HSW, it flies, but again, we're not doing that because PC. Love the color on that. I'm happy with that build. Z type. You gotta love Bugattis in general. That car is just gorgeous. It really is. It's just beautiful. And for the longest time, the highest actual top speed in the game. Not anymore, but for the longest time it was. Didn't have the handling to back it up, but that made it a very, very fun car to drive. Gold Corvette. I think I've told this story before. Probably told it a few times. But when I was in grade school, when I was in kindergarten or first grade or something like that, I had a favorite Matchbox car that was a gold Corvette. And I took it to school, and I let it distract me from my reading lesson or whatever it was, and the teacher took it off of me and I never got it back. And years later I told this story, and my parents said they would have gotten the car back for me, and it's like, oh, I thought I would be in trouble. So, you know how you are as a kid, you just let these things happen, and now here I am. 52, going to be 53 in a couple months. Still like, I had to build a car to replace it. Thanks, Teach. It's a beautiful gold vet. Those wheels are absolutely perfect vet wheels. They just really are. You know, I love the side pipes. And you know, I think it's B-bodies. You know, it's another Tacoma coupe. I mean, that's my second Tacoma coupe, not Tacoma. That's Washington. Tacoma coupe. Yeah, I love the dark over. Like, I believe the top color, the bottom color is the black with red is just the livery, and then you have the slight gray there. This is what they tell me the A-Team van. That's how that's supposed to be painted. I'm not sure I believe it. You know, the line would come down on the side, though. It's a little different. Good car. Those are fun cars to drive. This is an actual Banshee. Yeah, I blanked out for a minute. It's not a Banshee 900R. This was supposed to be the thing to get because, you know, when we found out HSW was coming and it was rumored this would get HSW, and it did, and it's really fast. It's really great. Except I got this car, which I don't know if it's removed or not, but like, the trick of the matter is I never got HSW, so it's just a regular Banshee. All draped in regularness. Moving on. We have the Picador, which has been buffed and nerfed and nerfed and buffed and different things with it. Kind of nice lower tier muscle car drive around one. Yet there's no complaints about cruising in it. It's good. I like the look. The blade will win you races when you don't expect it. Uh-oh, someone's talking at the door. And the family's home. So, but yeah, this blade, the acceleration is so good, especially coming out of slow turns. You take this on dual, you can surprise people. I like this car. My other blade on my other character is black. This one's white. I was going to do something funkier with both of them, and somehow the plain Jane look just called to me. It's a nice car. I like this one a lot. Let's see. The Fage et Loa. We're going to just say that. The Fagela. We're going to go with that pronunciation here. Absolutely useless as far as performance. It's all about looks. That old British kind of car, I guess. Is it British? Is it French? It's not American, I don't think. May have been. I don't know. There's a lot of weird cars back then. Sometimes you just want to have a weird car. Weird family car. And this is that. Let's see. It's a Volker. So does that mean this is Swedish? Or something like that? I don't know. Good car. And the Valerer. The Valerer is actually very pleasant to drive. I've raced this a few times. It's done alright. Yeah, I like the Valerer. Well, it's time to move on. Our next one. Are we done with the actual... Yes! I tried to hold that cough back. this is the last of the regular garages. So the next video, we'll be going into some other things. We'll be going into some of the large, like the Maze Bank garage, perhaps. I don't know what's next, but it will be something else. So until next time, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, this is your Black Knight. Have a great night.